Hi guys, welcome back to Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to be talking about the September month reading, and this is going to be a very interesting month. Difficult month as well, because we are going to be facing two eclipses, which is the lunar eclipse coming on around 7th of September, and then around 21st, 22nd of September we will find the solar eclipse coming as well. Now the lunar eclipse will be falling when moon comes in conjunction with Rahu in the sign of Aquarius, while the solar eclipse will come in place when moon will be conjunct with sun in the sign of Virgo around 21st of September. And both of these eclipses will be extremely crucial because they are going to be defining the way we are going to be approaching things. The lunar eclipse is going to be eclipsing our thought process, our decision making, our belief system, because Rahu is going to cast that shadow in your decision making as well. And depending on where this eclipse is happening in your chart, you will be affected accordingly. Whilst solar eclipse is going to be happening again with the conjunction of moon with sun, when moon is going to essentially eclipse over the sun, he is going to be falling right between the earth and the sun. But again, you will have to understand that this is going to be a partial solar eclipse, which is going to be happening in different parts of the world. Depending on what part of the world you are going to be watching this video from, you will have a respective impact as well as based on your zodiac signs. So without further ado, what we are going to do now, we are going to look into some of the important dates that are going to be coming into picture in terms of transit and understand what's going to be meaning it for us. Now, guys, as you can see on your screen here, that Sun is currently in the sign of Leo until 15th of September. And then for the second half of the month, it is going to be transiting into the sign of Virgo. Now, Sun has been in its own Leo sign, but imagine it has been in difficult situation with its conjunction, with its collaboration with Ketu in the same house so far. Then Mercury is in Leo until 14th of September, and almost a day ahead it will advance into its sign of exaltation in the sign of Virgo from 15th of September onwards. So predominantly both Sun and Mercury are going to be remaining in the first half of the month in your Leo sign, and then they will together transit a day in difference into the sign of Virgo. Venus is in the sign of Cancer until September 14th, and it is going to come into the sign of Leo, where it will become conjunct with Ketu from September 14th onwards. Now, that is going to be very crucial, and we are going to analyze as to what sort of an impact we can anticipate there. Mars is in the sign of Virgo. It is there until September 12th, and from 13th onwards, it is going to be moving into the sign of Libra. Jupiter continues its presence in the sign of Gemini itself in Chatra. So that is a good bit that is happening there. And it is going to be in the sign of Gemini for the month of September. Remember, October is the time when it is going to be moving into its sign of exaltation. Saturn is continuing in its motion of retrogression, and it is in Pisces in Uttara Nakshatra. And the most important thing, guys, you have to understand here is that Saturn will be coming into deepest retrogression because it will be bang opposite to Sun as well from the second half of the month. So it will be getting into its deepest retrogression during the month of September, and that is where its impact becomes extremely crucial for all of us. Lots of things happening. Saturn getting into deep retrogression, two eclipses as I was addressing before, and then Rahu is in Purva Nakshatra of Jupiter itself in the sign of Aquarius, while it is coming out, in degrees. So it is coming out of its Bal Avastha. It is going to get a lot more strength in its itself. But the lunar eclipse is where it is going to cast its magic, and you have to be very sharp, shrewd in terms of understanding what sort of a impact it will have for you. And then Ketu, of course, is sitting in Pur Falguni nakshatra itself of Leo of Venus, which is where he will be becoming conjunct with Venus. So, guys, without further ado, we will now deep dive into your monthly reading and understand that what these transits are going to be impacting and how they are going to be impacting you for the course of the month. So, Aquarius, as you guys can see on your screen here, you have Saturn, which is your 12th lord and your Lagna lord. Or if you are watching this from a Aquarius moon sign perspective, your Rashi lord placed in your second house in retrogression. And as I had mentioned in the start of the video, it is going to be coming into its deepest state of retrogression during the month of September onwards. Why? Because Sun will be bang opposite to Saturn during the course of this period. But before we talk about that bit, this is the month of lunar eclipse and solar eclipse both. And solar eclipse will be happening when moon is going to be overshadowing the sun in the sign of Virgo for you guys in the 8th house. We have to talk about the lunar eclipse which is happening in your lagna, in your first house, in your Rashi house itself from a moon sign standpoint in the sign of Aquarius. And it becomes absolutely critical for you to understand what sort of an impact you can anticipate. First and foremost, because moon is going to be getting eclipsed through a Rahu in your first house, it is crucial for you to remember that it is going to be impacting your body, your mind, your decisions, your actions. And thereby, no matter what people tell you that it is going to be a new beginning and, post that you are going to have some fabulous start and stuff, any kind of major decision making, at least a couple of days before from 7th of September, which is like 5th of September till 10th of September, you must be very prudent. Or if I were in your shoes, try and avoid that decision making somehow. See, Rahu has moved in terms of its degrees as well. It is no more in its Bal Avastha. It is gaining strength right now. And that illusion of Rahu, that confusion of Rahu, that greed, that mysticism is going to come on everyone's mind because it's the lunar eclipse. It's coming on top of the moon. So it is happening for everyone, Aquarius. Don't think that it is just happening for you. Across the board, that thing will happen. But the impact of that eclipse will be different for all of us. In case of Aquarius, it is going to be in the body, it is going to be in the mind, it is going to be in the actions, it is going to be with the food that you are consuming. So you guys are going to be deeply involved and impacted with this. And hence, it is important for you to realize that this is going to be a period where you look inwards, meditate, spend time in terms of spirituality, find the answers of what you are seeking trouble with or you are finding difficulties with. You must try and introspect and find those answers within yourself. The remedies are all within us, folks. And when I say, a lot of us, I keep on to a lot of you who come to my readings, I do give the direction in terms of going towards Shiv Puja and stuff. Why? Because Shiva is the ultimate reflection of meditation. So any of those paths that you choose, that path has to be your decision, your karma. But if I were in your shoes, I would refrain from any kind of, decision making key initiatives to embark on in those 3, 4, 5 days. In fact, September itself can be very challenging because in your case, 8th house is where the solar eclipse will also happen. So some sort of disrepute in problems, unexpected challenges, transformations are also bound to happen for you there. So that's my first message with respect to the eclipse for you folks. Then you have to understand here that Rahu is going to become magical. It is going to make you all the more powerful. I've talked about Rahu Ketu axis for Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus people. That it's happening in the Kendra, in the center houses. But this month, that enormity of your decisions, that magnitude of the risk that Rahu is going to provide you, that ambition that you are going to chase, I would say just be very cautious in terms of embarking on that path. Because this Rahu can twist your path in any direction. You will be like in a fork. You might have to choose one decision over the other. And thereby, this decision making, this action during this month will take you in a course that decides the kind of outcomes you can gain. I hope I'm making sense with what I'm trying to convey here. So be cautious with that. If the right path ensues, if you are going in a good dasha, especially if you are in Sun, Moon, Saturn kind of periods, Rahu kind of periods. Be extremely cautious. You'll have to look into your natal chart and understand what is panning out for you. But if you are in those periods, figure out if you can delay any crucial decisions. You have to purchase a property. Can you shift the dates by few days or few weeks? Any kind of health related concerns, be proactive about it. Any kind of job related matters, because it is in your first house, guys. Anything of your life becomes crucial. So it is hyper crucial for the Aquarius sign, right? Then you have to understand is that your Lagna Lord, your Rashi Lord, is also going to get into its deepest retrogression this month itself. And its Cheshta Bal will be highest. Being the 12th Lord in retrogression in the second house means that there could be some unexpected challenges, unexpected problems that might come that you and your family have to face together, in which you will have to play the most crucial role in terms of decision making, which can happen most importantly from the second half of September till the first couple of weeks of October as well. So that is going to become important. Number two, it is going to give a certain dent, even though he is your Lagna Lord, it is going to give a certain dent in your savings. It is going to trouble you with respect to your family matters. It is going to bring issues in terms of having argumentative situations. Unnecessary fights could happen between you and your family members. And it might be hard for them to decipher as to why you are taking a particular stand. So, keeping your nerves under control during this period is also going to be very important. This Saturn is giving a retrograded aspect towards the fourth house. And your fourth lord later will be becoming conjunct with Ketu. So we are going to touch upon that Venus Ketu conjunction as well. But there is going to be lack of mental peace. There is going to be a situation where your mother could face certain health related matters. Take care of her, spend time with her. Do not get into arguments with your mother as well. That is also a probability for some of you that could arise. The aspect of Saturn towards your 8th house will be retrograded, which means a risk with respect to marriage related issues, relationship related issues, third party situations will be heightened. I had called about this earlier as well. I had given a caveat that if your natal dasha antardasha is going good, you should not face any big hiccup there. But in the month of September, I'm driving that caution. It's a very tricky month for all of us guys. Okay, and it's the reason is that in your 6th, 7th, and 8th, there's a conglomeration of planets, multiple conjunctions happening, and difficult combinations happening there. So avoid any kind of argumentative situations, avoid any kind of egotistical clashes that might come into play with your partner, with your spouse, with your business associates, with the world in general. Because I see a risk of disrepute, insult also creeping in, especially in the second half. And then Saturn is giving a retrograded aspect to your 11th house. You will have to strive harder, you will have to work harder, and you will feel it. That, gosh, I'm putting in every bit of effort which is required, and still things are taking time. They will. They will materialize at some point in time, but you will have to put enormous amount of efforts for things to happen in the way you desire, in the way you anticipate. Now, the good part is that Jupiter is also giving that aspect into your 11th house. He is the lord of your 11th and your second. So he holds the financial gains, the financial security for your chart Aquarius. And he's sitting in a decent placement in the 5th house. He is yet to become exalted, and that will happen in the month of October. But in September, he is placed there and giving an aspect to your Lagna being trine with Rahu, to your 9th house where Mars will be coming into play, and your 7th house. And trust me, Aquarius, whilst you have the most challenging bit from an lunar eclipse coming into play, you also have the greatest blessing of Jupiter coming into play for you. And he is the one who can counter a lot of these problems, because Jupiter will bring its level of spirituality, its level of mindfulness, enlightenment, knowledge in your decision making. Creativity is going to be crucial. But again, I will repeat it. Do not jump into any kind of decision making. Jupiter is in its own nakshatra. That's a good bit. That's a very positive thing that is happening around for us here. Now, when you see further, what you find is that your 4th Lord Venus and your 9th Lord Venus is in the 6th house. Now, 9th Lord coming into the 6th At least the first half of the month, Venus is going to make things easy. Your bosses will still be supporting you at your workplace. You will find that there will be challenges in your mental peace, in your emotional peace. There could be difficulties with your mother, but you will have to put in more efforts to tackle those problems. Venus is giving an aspect to your 12th as well, which means that there could be certain health related issues that might require expenses coming in your way. At the same time, Venus is a healer. So he will give you the ability to overcome those health related matters, overcome those emotional matters as well. Why? Because Venus is in the sign of Cancer. But the interesting thing happens in the second half of the month. Before I talk about Venus's shift into the second half, where it becomes conjunct with Ketu in your seventh house, let's touch upon what happens with Mercury and Sun's presence along with its conjunction with Ketu in your seventh. Now, Sun is the seventh lord for you guys in the seventh house itself, but it is a malefic for marriage. It's a difficult placement, and especially for you folks, Aquarius, you find difficulties in your relationships, in your marriage. Your Lagna Lord is Saturn, and your seventh Lord is Sun. Sometimes there are enemies in the form of your partners itself that trouble you. So it's not an easy thing to be dealing with, Aquarius. And now, if things could have been simpler, they've got much more complicated because Mercury is the Lord of your fifth house as well as eighth house sitting in your seventh. So eighth lord has come into seventh, and I had alluded to this bit in the last month's reading too. Saturn's aspect is also retrograded. That there will be some unexpected turbulences, unexpected challenges in your marriage, in your relationship, in your partnerships. The fifth lord is in seventh as well. Yes, you would work towards your love affairs, your towards your relationship in terms of taking the next step, materializing in a certain direction. But I don't think this is the most appropriate period, at least from a transit standpoint, for you to materialize it or formalize that into a committed marriage, relationship, or business partnership. Because Ketu's presence here, along with Sun, it is almost as if he's giving that those difficulties to your seventh lord itself. There is a separative tendencies which is coming with Ketu's presence in the seventh house. And then with the presence of Mercury, who's your eighth lord as well, that can only become amplified. So you will have to tread your path very cautiously, week over week, day by day, to ensure. Take one day at a time in the month of September, folks. One day at a time. See what sort of issues are coming in. Let go of any kind of ego, because Sun is the karaka of ego. There could be situations where you might be right. I will repeat this. You could be right, but you will have to bend your head and move on. You will have to let go of those situations so that you can solve the problems at a larger picture. Ketu's presence here is not easy. He is going to expect you to get gains only when you are least connected. You might have to do work where you might not even get respect for that work. You might not get the adulation you deserve, especially from your partners, from your colleagues. Swallow that insult for now, because things will pan out well as we move over the course of the weeks. This is also going to be a period when Mars, being the lord of your 10th house and your third house, is placed in the 8th. And that is where I was saying, guys, that you could be doing tremendous work, but you might not be getting the respect from your colleagues. You might not be getting the outcome from your bosses, from your superiors. If you're a student watching this video, if you're a homemaker, your family might not be able to realize the kind of hours, the kind of time you are giving towards everything. So I'm not saying this effort is going to go in vain, but it is going to be challenging. Yet you will be putting in efforts, because your third lord has gone into sixth from itself, and it is 11th from the 10th. So you will find gains, albeit smaller quantities in smaller quantum values, depending on how you are fighting it out. Your interest towards religion, your interest towards spirituality, towards occult is going to increase. Because when we are troubled, when we are finding these difficulties, we seek that unknown, unseen power to help us, to support us during those difficult times. And Aquarius, you might need that. And it is completely okay, because things will slowly start shifting post September for you folks. From here, Mars is going to be giving an aspect to the sign of Sagittarius in your 11th house, your second as well as third. avoid confrontations in the family. I will repeat that again. Saturn's retrograde was one reason, Sun's placement was the other, and now the Mars aspect too. Then in the second half of the month, what you guys will realize is that this Venus is moving into your seventh house and it is becoming conjunct with Ketu. Your fourth lord is 4 places away from itself in the seventh, and your ninth lord is 11 places away into the seventh. The only silver lining that I find is that at least Ketu is in the nakshatra of Venus here. So the magnanimity of the damage that could have come into play has dialed down to a certain extent, but it's not one of the easiest positions for Ketu to be in. Now, of course, your fortune, your luck, your destiny is going to support you to a certain extent. It is going to come in your favor as long as you are helping yourself. And why I'm talking about it, I will mention that in a bit. See, Mars is going to go into the ninth house, so we'll touch upon that bit. But you have to remember that your solace, your satisfaction, your relax is going to be when you are associated with your partner, when you are doing something for your business, when you are doing something for your loved one in your relationship. Irrespective of whether or not you get the same back from them, the same respect, the same adulation, the same commitment, I think your satisfaction will lie in what you put into it. So continue to do that with least expectation during this month. Your studies could find difficulty in the first half, but things will improve in the second half. What you will find is that if you are chasing for any kind of romantic situations, for education, for especially for people who are getting into speculative activities like trading, investment strategies and stuff. Yes, I called out there will be problems because of the retrogression of Saturn, but the good point is Mercury will also become exalted in the eighth house. Unexpected gains could come, but they will not still be satisfactory enough because Mercury is giving a debilitated aspect to your second house. You see how the yogas are panning out. Like there is something trigger of a good thing, but it is not good enough. There is a trigger of something bad happening with, say, Venus and Ketu sitting together, but it is not bad enough because it is your ninth lord who is bringing that positive energy as well, 11 places away from itself. So it's a month of mixed bag situations, mixed bag difficulties. But given that the eclipse is happening this month, it becomes crucial. And now we will talk about the eclipse bit. In the second half of the month, whilst we touched upon Venus and Ketu's conjunction in the seventh house, you see that your seventh lord, Sun, will come into the eighth. Now, you all know that I'm not a huge fan of luminaries coming into the eighth house. Great thing is that the eighth lord itself becomes exalted. It is positive for people who are into trading, investment strategies and stuff. As I said, outcomes may not be towards what you anticipate, but still they will be on the positive side of things. But from a romantic relationship perspective, it can bring in certain turbulences in your partnerships, in your relationships, because there could be third party situations. There could be intentions or tendencies of greed, to cheat, to get on the higher side of the bargain. And that could be turbulent because your sun is also now Nicha Abhilashi. Is aware that he is moving into its sign of debilitation in your ninth house. So it's a difficult position for sun to be in. And on 21st, when moon also traverses to this house, the eclipse will be happening in your eighth. This is where your health related matters, your father's health related matters, your marital health related issues, your partner's health related issues, your business in terms of facing any kind of turbulences will be the highest, guys. And proactively, it may not be a bad idea for you to offer water to Surya. Proactively being, whatever religion, caste, community, background, ethnicity, I know all sorts of people from all over the world watch my videos. Guys, whichsoever entity you believe in, connect yourself. That level of spirituality, that level of religion, that level of introspection, looking inside, is going to be crucial for you folks. And then you have to also understand here that will be the position when Saturn will get into its deepest retrogression. So matters related to all the areas where Saturn is giving an aspect and its lordship and its placement will be impacted. And thereby, Aquarius, for you, the challenging period could more be in the second half of the month. And you have to find that balance there. Now, from there, Sun will also, along with Mercury, be giving an aspect back to the second. So you will still try to curtail situations from a family affair perspective, from a monetary aspect perspective as well, but it might be not to your fullest satisfaction. And the answer will lie in digging deep, in researching, in figuring out where did I go wrong or where I could go wrong. And that is why, folks, I'm continuously calling out that unless and until there is some major decision making that you have to embark upon, please run the month as it is possible. Again, a good picture that happens is that Mars, which is your third and 10th lord, will now be coming out into your ninth house. So you see, 10th lord into the ninth, it's a good connection. Even though it is 12th to itself, it is a good movement for you folks, Aquarius. And I will repeat again, to every negative situation that is happening, there's a positive silver lining which is also coming into picture. From here, Mars will be giving an aspect into your 12th house, 3rd house, and 4th house. Keep a check, keep a control over your anger, over your temper, especially with your family members. You will be very motivated in the second half of the month in terms of putting in your efforts. You will go an extra mile to achieve your objectives. You will realize that the problems that you are facing at your work front, you would want to work towards them. However, there could be certain argumentative situations with your father, with your bosses, with your superiors, with your clients. Just have a just have a sweet tooth with them. Go out, dine with them, have some food with them. It will calm your nerves, it will calm their nerves as well. So, whilst there will be certain challenges, if you act in a calm, composed fashion without reacting to situations through the course of this month, yes, swallow any insults. I usually don't say that. I usually tell people take pride in your work, be aggressive, be bold. But the way things are conspiring, especially because of the eclipses happening for all of us, it is crucial, Aquarius, that you do not react to situations that add to more unexpected problems from a 12th or a 6th standpoint. All in all, it's a month of caution. It's a month of precaution. It's a month of making the right choices, the right decisions. You will be coming towards a fork and you will have to decide which path you have to choose. May Shivji be there to bless you, to help you with the right path. And I hope you find this video worthwhile and fruitful. If you do, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching.